Good day. Good day. Good day, learned, wise. Good day, sapient. Master, mistress of erudition. Sage. Welcome. A hearty hello and a high-o silver to you. We have so much to discuss today. And this, I pledge to you, is going to be the best channel, the best way, next to the other one, which is, well, frankly, a little bit more, shall we say, spirited. That is, of course, the other YouTube channel, Lionel Legal. Just listen to what I'm saying. Do both. You've subscribed to both. Lionel Legal. And I just did one today. I just did a very important piece, which I want to discuss with you. And it's phrased in a unique way. That's all I want to say. It's a little bit different, but it's, how do I say this in a nice way? It is called, if you cut a, well, I use a term. If you cut this particular piece of agesta into 34 pieces, it's still a piece of agesta. I'll leave it at that. It's a family show. It's Palm Sunday, for the love of God. A hearty hello and a high-o silver. Let me also say before I forget, and I have forgotten, and I have been most remiss, and it has been, I think, without a doubt, one of the worst things that I've done is not to provide you with a recommendation, understanding of our sponsors. The first, and you must just go to our reference section there, the description. Our good friends at MyPillow, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, for all that you need for your dormiendo kit, your equipment base, to allow luxuriating slumber. Sleep is something that I look to, like I do exercise or diet. Sleep is empowerment. It is biomedically sound and what you should do, and you're not getting enough of. And you can help dramatically by going to MyPillow, mypillow.com, but only use the promo code Lionel. I don't care what if you hear another ad on any other show, you put promo code Lionel. Forget those people. They don't need promo code Lionel. Next. This is also important. Listen to me critically now. I don't know, and I know you're smart enough to do this. I'm not one to I don't get, crazed. I'm not paranoid. I'm concerned, but I'm not paranoid. And what I believe, more than anything, is for you to understand the following, and that is simply this. In the case of emergency food, you don't ever want to be in the position where you do not have emergency food that you must immediately be able to access. Okay? It's that simple. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Preparewithlionel.com. That's the link from our dear friends at My Patriot Supply. Prepare with Lionel. Lionel. Some people can't spell it. They say Lionel. I don't know, 2 L's or whatever. Lionel rhymes with vinyl. Preparewithlionel.com. $250 off a 3-month supply. Their best deal since 2019. Do it. Do it now. Everything you can imagine, from food to water filtration. Just look at the supplies. It's incredible. Preparewithlionel.com. That's number 2. Number 3, electromagnetic pulses. Either you get it or you don't. Most people don't know what you're talking about. And then, I don't know where you were, but the first time you said, oh my God. The first time you read about a Carrington class event, some super coronal. We're not talking necessarily, enemy oriented, though many people have suggested you might want to be thinking about that. We're talking about just through solar snafus here and there. EMP Shield is an American-made, veteran-owned Midwest company, and you go to this particular link for EMP Shield. Use the link that is provided. And finally, I just say this with you. Your health, your immune system is only functioning if you keep pumping it. That's it. And I know you don't eat right. I'm not pointing fingers. But Z-Stack, just go to the description. Look at the Lionel link there. Look for yourself. And you tell me. If you can tell me what's wrong with vitamin C, ask Linus Pauling about that. Vitamin C, zinc, D3, which is a miracle hormone, if anything, not just a vitamin per se, but also quercetin, which is a flavonoid, an anti-inflammatory, free radical killer. That's it. I defy you to say, well, that's not good for you. Really? We're not talking exotic here. This is about as basic and as fundamental from Z-Stack. All right? Thank you for that. Now, as I have provided to you, maybe I haven't, but there is a video I did, which I want you to understand so that you can always talk to your friends. Because you're going to be talking to your friends and they're going to be saying some things that are sometimes kind of nasty. Sometimes nasty. Here is the link, by the way, from YouTube that I just put up. It's about taking something and slicing it into 34 pieces. It's a bit gauche, true, but it makes the point. Why do you think Trump's been hit with 34 counts? Why? Simple. Do you need me to tell you that? No. Do I have to tell you what 34 counts mean? No. Do you know what that is? It's simply this. The case is a dog. It's a dog. But if I get 34 counts, maybe it'll look complicated. Maybe it'll look like, wow, 34 counts. I mean, I knew this guy was bad, but I had no idea it was this bad. 34. Now we're talking. 34 counts. My God. Whereas if you just had one, maybe 2 counts, of what the case is all about, falsifying business records, and then taking that and upping it by adding on this little factor. Take this misdemeanor, this case of falsifying business records and the like, with the intent of deliberately, knowingly, intelligently, deliberately trying to cover up a crime. What crime? What crime? Some Rube Goldberg duct-taped, chicken-wired, jury-rigged something or other where he is subverting the laws intended to prevent unfair or illegal campaign contributions. I don't know who knows. Good luck with that one. Now, I don't know about you, but I hope now let me just stop right there. I'm going to be doing this a lot. I'm going to be saying, hold it. Now listen to me. We don't know what he is actually going to be indicted with, for, on. We have no idea. We think we know. We think with 34 counts. We think we know. Not really sure. Think we know. A lot of this is like, as I always say, standing outside of an arena, standing outside of a stadium, and listening to the crowd and trying to guess the score. That's what we're doing. We're guessing. We're guessing. And all of this nonsense that people are talking about. Oh my God, this ridiculous storyline of it's a banana republic. Would you shut up with this? What do you know about a banana republic? What are you talking about? It's a banana republic. Why? Well, because it's just, you know, where have you been? I don't know. I haven't been anywhere. Apparently not. So what's so banana republic? I'm like, they're just doing this because what? For political reasons? You don't say. Really? Wow. So when they went after Tom DeLay, Rush Limbaugh, Ted Stevens, I think Ted Stevens was the man who gave us the phrase, the internet is a bunch of tubes. A series of tubes. You don't think that was in any way? Well, I just didn't care about that. What was that? Well, I didn't care about that. You didn't care about that. What do you mean you didn't care about that? Well, I wasn't really paying attention then. Oh, I see. So you're paying attention now. So you're an expert in this because this is Trump. Is that it? Well, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. So that's it, huh? Yeah, that's it. This is the way most people are. All of a sudden, they're saying, hey, this isn't fair. What is this? It's just like when, remember, this is the thing which I will never understand. A while back, when we first started talking about vaccines, people had this idea. By the way, there's this one video again. People have this mandate. People have this idea that you can't make people take vaccines. What? You can't. There's no such thing. There's no you. Really? Yeah. There's no. Jacobson against Massachusetts, 1905. The Supreme Court, who upheld the authority of states to enforce compulsory vaccination laws. What? When the court said that individual liberty is not absolute and is subject to the police power of the state? Do you remember that one? Well, I don't know. You don't know anything about that, do you? No, I don't know anything about that. So what are you talking about? Well, I don't know. I say things like this. I just say stuff like this. That's what Americans do. That's what they do on Fox and CNN. Everybody does. It's okay. Just say something. Just keep saying it. That's my favorite. You can't mandate vaccines. Yes, you can. Well, I have never, ever seen anything like it since 1905. Nobody would ever say this about sports. Nobody would ever say, there's never been somebody who took the ball, received a kickoff, and ran the wrong way. There hasn't? No. Why? Because I can't conceive of it. And because if I can't conceive of it, it never happened. People don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is a banana republic. Why? Well, because where have you been? Do you understand? I'm going to take you down. We'll go to your courtroom. We'll go to your courthouse. We'll go to your county. County, federal, maybe district court, maybe not be in your town. Maybe it's the seat, and then we'll go to that. And we'll just walk in and let's go to what will be called county civil. Let's look at the small claims. Oh my God. This is where lunatics just run to the court. I'm going to sue you. And that is the most, I think that and family law are two of the most scary parts to be in. Oh, we're not talking about small claims. We're talking about President Trump. Yeah. And I'm with you on this one. But what's your argument going to be to Alvin Bragg? This is political. What's your other argument? It's not going to work. Of course it's political. Of course it's political. What are you talking about? Do your research. There was a great piece this week in New York Times about George Soros and his connection, where he says, I don't know who I don't know who Alvin Bragg. Did you research that? New York Times did a great job for you. You've got to research. You just don't sit back and open up your Twitter account or your Facebook and let it pour into your lap. It doesn't work like that. You don't turn on Fox and say, well, let's see what they're saying today. Or CNN, and let's let them determine the subject matter. Now, let me tell you something right now. Here's what I hope they do. When it comes time, assuming it's 34 counts of this fraudulent business, whatever it is, I hope they blow that up. I like big posters, big, so people can see it. Whenever I go to a restaurant, somebody tells me, I always look at the menu online first. I hate reading menus. I want to read ahead of time. I want to see, what do they got to take all the time in the world? Oh, it's interesting. Look at this. Okay. I like to take my time. So then when I see the menu, I go, I've seen this before. I know where we want. It's salads or whatever I'm looking for. It's over here. Good. Got that. I like to see voter, especially ballots. I always look at the ballot at that time. Oh, there's the ballot, just like I saw. This. Turn it around. Boop, boop, boop. That's it. So when you have a jury, basically a blow up of what will be the verdict form, you say, I've seen that again. I've seen this. 34. 1, 2, 3, 4. See this one? Count number 1. It's this thing. You know what I'm talking about. There's a word for this. Where's my pickle? It's somewhere around here. I've got my pickle here. My pickle represents this. Here we go. Imagine this. It looks like this, but it's different. And if I take this pickle and I divide it up into 34 pieces, it's a pickle. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like, wow, look how much we've got. No, idiot. It's one pickle. What are you excited about? Oh, it's 34 pieces. What's the matter with you? That's what we have now. And you got to explain that to the jury right off the bat. So they say, oh, I see. So it's not 34 different counts? No. You want to go into a CVS? We'll start shoplifting. You grab a case of Tide Pods. Tide Pods. And you got to grab a case of Enfamil, and you grab some deodorant, a case of deodorant. Now, do you know how many individual pieces? How many Tide Pods do we take? Did we steal a case? Did we steal 20 containers? Or do we steal 250 for each individual pod? What did we take? You answer me. What did I take? I think I took 250 bucks. 250 counts. That's just on one. Wait a minute. Can you do that? Yeah. Yes. How many did you take? People normally say, like, well, wait a minute. Normally it's like, if you, God forbid, kill somebody or abduct people, 3 people, 3 count. No. There's kidnapping. That's one. Maybe there's wrongful. There's a false imprisonment. False imprisonment, by the way, is really the kidnapping statute, because kidnapping can be one of two things: either you're not allowed to leave, or I move you. So I can get kidnapping, abduction, assault, sexual battery. God forbid if there's anything involved in that. Conspiracy. Boop, 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 boop. I just double up. In many jurisdictions, you can have the crime and the conspiracy to commit the crime, not the intent. Sometimes the inchoate crimes are automatically subsumed. Attempt, well, burglary is, let's say, battery is an attempted, completed assault, and that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is, if you want to sit around and do this, now why would you do this? Why? Why do you think that is? Simple. Because Alvin Bragg knows, and he's got more people. Oh, God, does he have people? He's got people backing him up. There are people from the Department of Justice, not on official time. I guarantee you, not on official time. Pro bono, just doing some research, not doing anything. I'm not acting in my capacity as working for the Department of Justice. I'm not doing anything. I happen to know a little bit about campaign finance laws, and we've got 200 people here from the federal government who know all about this. And we're kind of second chairing you, and we're going to help you. But on our own time, we're just going to help them out. We always help out prosecutors. They help out us. We help out them. I'm doing it on my own. Is there anything wrong with it? I'm not acting in my official capacity. See how that works? You think some ADA downtown knows anything about? Oh, he's got a law firm behind him, the likes of which you can't believe. And who does Trump have? Joe Tacopina. All right. Okay, good. Now, it gets better. So then we look at this, and I want that kind of that verdict form almost blown up. And the jury said, there we go. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see this. This is closing, of course. You're going to see this. Count 1. What's count 2? It's count 1 again. And what's count 3? It's a third slice of the pickle. What are they doing? Because what they want you to do is this. One of a couple of things. Number 1, they want you to say, oh, look what he's done. 334 counts. Oh, my God. So remember, in my hypothetical, somebody goes to CVS and they take Tide Pods, they take a case of Enfamil, and they take some razor blades. Is it per blade? I've got 1,000 different pieces. You're going to charge them 1,000 counts? No. Now, here's something interesting. And by the way, one of the best, I really like my personal favorite columnist is not, commentator is not Alan Dershowitz. No. Alan Dershowitz is just, Alan has seen better days. Alan says, I'm going out with a bang. Okay. He's good, but Alan, he just, the Justice Department has this guidance, has these guidelines. And Andrew McCarthy, by the way, from I think National Review and Fox, I think he's the best. I love him. Turley's good too. Turley's a little slow. Turley always looks like he's going to cry. You notice that? He's got the Chicago-y kind of thing. He's got that. He always sounds like he's going to cry. And then you've got the others. Oh, I don't listen. But I like him. This is the Justice Department guidelines for this. In order to promote the fair administration of justice, okay, as well as the perception of justice, all United States attorneys should charge in indictments and informations as few separate counts as are reasonably necessary to prosecute fully and successfully, and to provide for a fair sentence on conviction. To the extent reasonable, indictments and information should be limited to 15 counts or less, so long as such a limitation does not jeopardize successful prosecution or preclude a sentence appropriate to the nature and extent of the offenses involved. Okay. 34? Come on, Al. What are you doing? Al says, listen, I'm going, you know what, to the wall on this one. This is my swan song. Did you see Al the other day? Weird Al, bless his heart. He's going to his security car, and he's got his bodyguards, and I was like, oh, it's a posse. It looks like people love that. They love that. I mean, out the front door, I would just disappear in the night. You wouldn't even see me. But this was meant to show you, it's like, look at me. See? And there's a little bit about Alvin that, Joe Tacopina, I'm going to say, ooh, that's pretty good, I know. I may not have the thruds, Joe, but I got the manpower. You sure do. Look at me. I look like, Justin Bieber or something going outside. Maybe I'll go in there and maybe that jury will look at those 34 counts and say, my God, this guy's so guilty. We gotta find him guilty. 34 counts, for the love of God. See how that works? And sometimes, this is where Andrew McCarthy and I part a little company. He says, or the jury will look at this and realize, well, they're obviously overkilling with 34, so we have to do something. No, they're not thinking that. No. You're thinking that. They're not thinking that. Now, does this jury in Manhattan, as they say, I don't know why people, have you noticed this? Younger folks and more people, they don't say the T's anymore. Like they'll say Martin, Abraham Martin and John, Manhattan, Little Italy. I don't know where this comes from. They don't say. Anyway. Do you think this jury is going to say, give us the verdict now? We hate Trump. Do you think so? I don't. I don't. You think my favorite is this. Now, when you, depending upon, I was under the greatest voir dire, or voir dire, what they call it in the South, voir dire. This is when you get to speak to jurors. Florida had the most liberal voir dire ever. It was beautiful. And you would have this, and it would be my chance for you to meet me. I got this stiff over here, and I'm representing the defendant. And I will go up and I'll say, thank you very much. Your Honor, thank you. May it please the court. And I have a stack of these jury phones. One time, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. I asked the question, and I don't know why I did it, but I did. Mr. Randall Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson, what do your friends call you? Objection. Oh, this is perfect. I said, what? What do your friends call you? Objection. It was beautiful. I said, well, I'm sorry. And I said, what do your enemies call you? And objection. And they were already laughing. And the judge laughed. He says, proceed. It's like, sit down. They love me. I'm their friend. But it gets better. It gets better. They don't even know what the charge is yet. They don't even know anything. All of a sudden, I'm like making this thing because they're scared. They're sitting there. There's people looking at them and, oh my God. But here's this guy. He makes me feel like, do you ever have an x-ray or something and you have a tech or somebody who's like really nice to you? Say, you're making me feel, thank you for this. I appreciate this. My favorite question I asked to the point of exhaustion was, Mr. Jefferson, now be honest. I know you're under oath, and I don't even have to remind you of this, but when you got this jury summons, what did you think? Did you go to the mailbox and say, what is this? What is this, a tax notice? Go, jury summons! Oh, no! And they're howling. Not only they're howling, but the venire. Who's that? The people in the courtroom who were also potential jurors who are going to sit in that box in case these people get bounced. And you're allowed peremptory challenges, or as people call them, preemptory, which is ridiculous. Peremptory or challenges for cause. Meaning, depending upon what it is, depending upon the rules, if it's like 3 or 4 or 5 challenges per felony, per count, I don't know. But you can go up and say, Your Honor, yeah, number 5, 15, 20. They say, number 15, thank you very much. Have a nice day. You over here. Now, number 3's gone. And then somebody else comes in. Now, they're going to wonder, hey, who did that? Who did that? Who kicked it? He was one of us. Now, mind you, they've been listening to me. And right off the bat, people would say, now, I want you to understand something. We get to kick you off. I'm not hiding anything from you. As Melvin Belli said, what kind of jurors do you want? He said, relatives. So they laugh. They understand it. You're not hiding. You're funny. You're nice. You're honest. So they're in there. And already they're listening to you. And you've already created and changed, and you've created just a sense of wow, this trial thing is not going to be that bad. I was kind of worried about people. Juries are scared. I'm telling you, jurors are scared, or us scared, as we say here in Hell's Kitchen. It's true. So when you show this big, look at this verdict form, 34 counts. It says one case. Now, this is provided in pretrial motions. They're not motions to consolidate. A judge may say, you're not going to charge 34 counts. This is one transaction. Come on, what are you doing? We'll see. Who knows? But you can tell them in closing, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. Huh? Here's 34. You got to find them guilty of one, right? There has to be one. It's one case. Yes, you can find them not guilty of the whole thing. And then, during the jury selection, if you ever get the chance, in federal court they don't do this, but if ever, dear God, you ever get the chance to ask this, Mr. Jefferson, may I ask you a question? Yeah. Let's say you go home and somebody asks you, where were you this week? I was on jury duty. Jury duty. Wow. How was that? It was very interesting. What'd you do? Oh, we found him not guilty. You what? What was the charge? Murder. Let's assume this isn't murder now, but could you face somebody? Would you be just as proud of a not guilty verdict if you said, yes, I did my duty. I was there, and I'm telling you, the state did not prove its case. Could you do that, really? 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 And you said this thing. My favorite one ever. It was a great acquittal. It was armed, and they knocked it out in a strong arm robbery. It was a case that was just, I'll tell you about it one day. But this is a woman, and I said, Mrs. Fernandez, how are you? It's a Cuban woman, Florida. She goes, thank you very much, thank you. Mr. Fernandez, do the police ever make a mistake? Oh, yes. No, they don't. Oh, yes, they do. No, they don't. That's on TV. The police? No. Come on. Yes. In my country, in Cuba, I said, well, this isn't Cuba, but no, listen to me. The police make a big all the time. And I'm thinking, she's gone. All right, that's enough. I like her, but if she keeps talking, they're going to bounce her. And they let her on. This guy wasn't paying attention. So right off, are you sure about that? Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear, police, we even had an FBI agent who was a heroin, but you're going to hear these people. I mean, this is the best. And they're doing their job. And I'm not telling you anybody's lying or anything. I just want to let you know right away. But I'm just saying, because I'm asking you, I'm telling you right now, we're going to say they made a mistake. Now, you tell me right, I can't believe it was like I was arguing the case. Nobody's paying attention. I had one judge years ago who would do a checkbook. I swear to God, nobody's paying attention. I'm arguing the case. It's not illegal. Nobody's stopping me. So that jury. What Andy McCarthy doesn't understand is that you can talk about this, but it depends. How do they feel about this? Who is going to be? Remember what I told you yesterday? How Trump sits, how he looks, does he fold his hands? Does he look defiant? Does he look diffident? Is Takapina say something stupid? No, if you look respectful, keep your mouth shut, just do. If it gets that far, listen, this thing could, for all we know, could be dismissed or derailed in the meantime. But that jury, that prosecutor could come across like a real, ugh. There's so many, you see, you just entered the Twilight Zone. You just entered the, how do I say this? You just entered the human factor. Now, Someone writes, the trial should be televised. Who thinks the trial should be televised? Oh, no, no, no. I hate that. I was the most ardent television fan. Oh, my God. I thought, oh, the television is an extension of the Sixth Amendment, a speedy and public trial. Oh, please. Are you kidding me? Dear God, no. No. Can you imagine Joe Tacopina on TV? No way. No way. He'll start primping and, oh, no, 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 no. No, please, dear God, no, please. No, no, it's the, oh, no. It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. Makes people nervous, makes people... You ever had somebody... By the way, have you ever given birth? Not you personally. You ever try to take a camera into the delivery room? I don't think so. I don't think so. Why? Doctors worried about malpractice, but they get nervous. I don't want you, especially now with phones and stuff. No, no, no. Phone recording, if you haven't figured this out yet, something happens when you put a television camera. People go crazy. Remember when you were a kid? Who remembers this? Did you ever have these home movies? My mother had these lights. I don't know where. I think they were runway lights from like LaGuardia or O'Hare. This was all our pictures. We had my Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe would always raise his, he was great. He would always raise his beer, and he would raise his beer like we would all look away, and nobody looked like anybody else. It just horrible. We just looked terrible. Well, nobody acted, and also nobody moved. It was the weirdest thing. Once you put the camera out, nobody moved. Not today. No. No, I don't want that. I don't want any cameras anywhere near this. I just want the jurors to sit back. And I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, remember this is what I told you. Do you know how much reasonable doubt there is? Remember, you have one. If you found one reasonable doubt, it's over. Well, I've got 50 for you. Shall I go through them with you? I got 50 reasons. 50 hooks for you to hang your acquittal on. 50, 20, 30, whatever it is. Number one, Michael Cohen. It all is based on Michael Cohen. If there was no Michael Cohen, there's no case. What do I mean? Michael Cohen paid Dusty Saddles the money, right? Step one. Michael Cohen paid the chanteuse the money to keep her mouth shut, right? That's step one. Later on, they have to prove that it was done in order to conceal a crime, but we'll get to that later. If Michael Cohen didn't pay the money, but most importantly, if he didn't pay it at the behest of President Trump, if he did it on his own, it's a waste of time. Then Michael Cohen's in trouble, not President Trump. If somebody came to you and said, hey, listen, remember that woman you had the affair with? Shh, quiet, yeah, listen, no. I took care of her. You what? What'd you do? No, I just paid her off. You did? Yeah. I didn't tell you to do that. No, I know, I did it myself. Oh, okay. Hey, come to think of it, that's pretty good because I am running for office and, that could embarrass me. Hey, thank you. Anything wrong with that from me, the candidate? No, I didn't do anything. He did it. I didn't know about it. I guess I'm supposed to report it once I know it, maybe. I don't think so. So if Michael Cohen, listen to what I'm saying. It's very simple. If Michael Cohen paid Ms. Clifford the money on his own, and if Trump never reimbursed him, never paid him back, there's no case here. We don't even get to the issue of whether he intended to conceal a crime because Trump didn't do anything. Okay. Enter Mr. Ryan. Who's Mr. Ryan? This is Mr. Cohen's lawyer. This is a letter he wrote, we blow it up real big, that he sent to the Federal Election Committee Commission in 2018, where it says, quote, read it, Mr. Cohen paid this of his own money. He never sought or received compensation or reimbursement from either Donald Trump or the Trump organization, and that's it. Now stop. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, stop. The prosecutor's going to say, wait a minute, hold it, stop, forget that. Why? He was lying. Excuse me? No. He was lying. He really did do this on behalf of President Trump. He really did receive compensation. Here's his canceled check. Wait a minute. Say that again? Your main witness is lying? And you're telling me that the reason why I should believe him is that he's lying? Do you understand how psychotic that is? You want me to believe him now and not believe what he told his lawyer and the letter written to the federal government saying, hey, listen, I paid for this, not Trump. Now we're not supposed to believe him anymore. Is that it? Because he's lying. What? Wait a minute. You want me to believe these? What? Ladies and gentlemen, that's not guilty right there. Because if Michael Cohen falls, the whole thing falls. I don't care about anything. He lied about this, then he lied about that, then he changed his mind. If you've got a person who has said 4 different things, 2 lies, 2 truth, and you don't know which one's which, and he's lied to the federal government, he's lied to his lawyer, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Costello, who may or may not testify. That guy went on me. My God. Between you and me, I am never, ever, ever going to go on Tucker Carlson and say, well, I heard my old client was talking, and he can't say that because he's a liar, and I want to clear the record. Wait a minute. You were his lawyer. Can you imagine a priest saying that? Oh, Father Flanagan, I was watching this, and he came to confession, and he told me he's lying. You're a priest. Well, that's what a lawyer is. He's a priest. He doesn't tell anybody that. It's forever. You don't want to suborn perjury, but to come forward and say, oh, by the way, this guy's a nut. He's crazy. Well, that's out there. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to count 1, if there's no Michael Cohen, there's no case. Let me say that again. If there's no Michael Cohen, if Michael Cohen was not in this, there's no case. You can take all the canceled checks because you need Michael Cohen to be able to tell you, no, here's what it is. No, see, I paid it because he told me to pay it, and then he paid me back. If there's no Michael Cohen, there's no case. Well, there's no Michael Cohen because he's a liar. And not only does he think he's a liar, or we think, but the federal government does, because that's why he was convicted of this. He was convicted. Federal court, downtown, down the street. And by the way, they have the jurisdiction for this election stuff. And did they want this piece of pickle? No. Did Cy Vance, Mr. Bragg's, Weird Al's predecessor, want this? No. Weird Al didn't even want this. In fact, he ticked off so many people in his office, 2 people left and wrote a book and said, hey, you're not doing this. Or one person wrote a book and said, this is terrible. But he changed his mind somehow. He changed his mind and said, oh, okay, yeah. What? On behalf of the people of the state of New York, I'm so sorry you had to be here for this. This is a waste of time. You may not like President Trump. That has nothing to do with anything. You may not like President Trump. You may not like Mr. Bragg. You may not like me. You may not like the courts. You may not like having to come down here and answer a jury summons merely because you had the unmitigated audacity to be a registered voter. But that has nothing to do with this. It takes one piece of reasonable doubt, just one, to derail this train. One hook to hang an acquittal on. I got 50 of them. And their name is Michael Cohen. You can't believe him. By his own words. not by some collateral evidence. And that's it. Now, can they find him guilty? You betcha. Wait a minute. You mean after all you've said? Mm-hmm. Can they find him guilty? Yep. 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 By the way, one more time, here's that great piece entitled Weird Al Bragg's Strategy on Multiple Counts. If you cut into 34 pieces, it's still it's not at all scabrous, the methodology, but it's still pretty doggone good. Subscribe to Lionel Illegal for more of that. Oh, we got some great stuff. And there's other legal stuff too, which is interesting. This DNA, I love this 1, 2, 3 and me, and oh my God, what are you people doing? But that's for a different story. Can they find Trump guilty? You betcha. Wait a minute. Yeah. Does this mean we're a banana republic? No. Here are the rules. Okay, here are the rules. And you can play a lot within the rules. We've done some stuff. Remember Dred Scott? I was in all the papers. Justice Taney, remember that one? Was that legal? Under the rules then? Sure. Yeah. We're a country that had the fugitive slave clause. Hello. We had it was basically made moot by the 13th Amendment, but we had a provision that said, in the event a slave runs away, you've got to turn him back. You can't keep him. What does that mean? The system doesn't work? Does that mean we're a banana republic? No, it just means we've got a lot to work on. Let me ask you this question. Depending upon where you live, if you have it could be called a second-degree misdemeanor. It could be called a Class B or C misdemeanor. And we used to have this thing where if you watered your lawn during a water ban, it was a second-degree misdemeanor, and you could punishable by a term of incarceration for up to 60 days. If I found an old lady, Grandma Peepers, and she's out there, hello, and she's watering her petunias, and 5-0 shows up, gives her a ticket, she goes before court, it's a criminal court, I could throw her in jail for 60 days. Grandma Peepers, this lovely, beautiful woman, I could do it. Why? Because the law gave me the ability to do it. Does that mean we're a banana republic? No. Does that mean I'm exceeding the terms of this? No. You threw a woman in prison. You told me I could. Yeah, but you're not supposed to. You didn't tell me I'm not supposed to. You said if somebody pleads guilty or is found guilty of a second-degree misdemeanor, up to 60 days. I did it. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, but you're mean. Well, maybe I'm mean, but you gave this to me. Absolutely. Now I want to say something right now. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. How many of you fine people have friends of yours who are absolutely going crazy, laughing over the fact that Donald Trump has been indicted? How many right now? Just say yes. Do you know people we have to run from them who are calling you up 3 o'clock in the morning? I happen to have on Saturday Night Live for the first time in years. And there's a young man who does an imitation of Trump that is, he's the best. He has that voice down perfectly. And by the way, we have a vote. We have a poll that you should be a part of. It says, will Trump be convicted? Yes or no? So far, no, excuse me. Let me read it'd be nice if I read the poll as it is. Stand by. It says, will Trump be acquitted? 74% say yes. Join our poll. Say something. Now, do you have friends of yours? Yes. So anyway, so last night, poor Mrs. L, I keep saying to her, what is this? I said, who is this? I don't know who this is. I don't know who these people are. It's like I was in a coma or something. I woke up and said, what is this? And the musical guest, forget it. Who is this? I don't know. Who's the guest? Who was that guest? Who was she?
There's a show. It's a comedy about Philadelphia teachers called. I don't even know the name.
Oh, a show. Okay, whatever. Give me Sandy Barron or Sonny Tufts or somebody. All right. But this fellow who does Trump is fantastic. Remember that awful Alec Baldwin, where he sticks his lips? What is that? For some reason, that looks like Trump. This guy's great. He has the... Okay. No. I just got this. Trump's lawyer speaks out. No! I just got this saying, shut up! You don't have to speak out. Don't speak out. Let other people speak out. We don't need... Anyway. You have friends of yours who are just giddy. They're laughing. Now listen to me. Let me ask you something. What would be the reaction right now if instead of Donald Trump, it was Hillary Clinton? Be honest. You would be in convulsions of laughing, and you would be honest. Come on. Right? Hunter Biden, you die and go to heaven. Joy Behar picked up on an active warrant for, whatever. People, come on. In fact, what I do is whenever somebody says that to me, I say, oh, absolutely. He deserves life in prison. Life or worse. Anyway, what are you talking about? I say, oh, no. I understand what you're saying. Do you know what he did? You know what he did? Falsifying business records? Oh, no. Not in my country. Life. Rahway. Supermax. I always overreact to have them say, you're not taking this seriously. Oh, no. Let me tell you something. This guy needs to be stopped. Now, I overdo it. And they say, no, wait a minute, stop it. No. And I throw this, and don't tell me Hillary Clinton was different. She was different. Hers was just, okay, 35, 40,000 records. Big deal. These were business records. This was hush money from his fixer. So don't give me this business about, it means a lot. And then they stop talking to me. And I walk away. I have these friends of mine who, well, Grover Norquist said there should be no taxes. We didn't have taxes until 1913. What do we need taxes for? No taxes. Zero. Not balanced budget. No taxes. Okay, you're not paying attention. So I take anybody I don't want to talk to, I just say what they say, but I put them on steroids and exaggerate it. Because nobody cares what I think about anything. And I understand why people say this. And also remember something. If you've ever talked to do you have anybody in your family who might be crazy? Or have you ever been in a situation, I'm sorry, with somebody who is serious, not just behavioral, but reality, you might want to say, I know, now listen. I understand how you feel. I understand. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's the way I talk to them. Like Nurse Ratched. No, we're not going to go to the park today. We're going to go tomorrow. I understand. And this means a lot to you. And I understand it. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry. They're going to convict him. Okay? Don't worry. I'm sure of something. So I understand. And you just make them sound like they're crazy. I understand how this means a lot to you because this you understand. What? You know what I mean. Look, you're busy. I understand this. Okay, my friends. We're going to leave it at that. Now, a couple of things. I have suggested that you must, in addition to all this, I have a secret, super secret, double probation private channel in which I do my stuff. And I can go into really brutal, more candid. It's at lionelmedia.com. I say things, but there's different audiences. This is the polite lecture group. This is like, think of this as like TED Talk or something nice, where you just kind of say some things and it's, it's for mixed audiences and everybody's happy. Nothing too crazy. You got there. Lionel Legal, That's a different story. That's on YouTube. That's different. But remember Playboy After Dark? Think public access meets, I don't know what. That's Lionel Media. That's where I get into it a little bit deeper. Plus we talk about the news of the day or stories. And I always talk about music. There's somebody I want you to be. Sometimes I'll introduce you from everybody from Dan Hicks to Elise Regina to Toshiko Akiyoshi, Lou Tabak and Big Band to Monty Alexander to a little bit of Art Tatum back to name it. So there's different levels depending upon what you can handle. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? So the poll is complete right now. It says here we have 311 votes. Will Trump be acquitted? 74% say yes, and 25% say no. All right, my friends, you have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so very much. Please follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Great, hard-hitting, critically important videos, Lynn's Warriors. And also follow her on Twitter at Lynn's Warriors as well. Lynn's, LYNNS _Warriors. All right, my friends, until tomorrow. Same bad times. Did you have fun? Of course you had fun. Why? Because nobody does it like this. I gave you 56 minutes of my life for free because I want you to be smarter. And believe me, you're smarter. And what I'm telling you is different than everybody else. Everybody else was, this is unfair. Yeah. I want to talk about the strategy. I'll tell you about the courtroom. Tell you about what's going on. The real procedures, not this other stuff. All right, friends. On behalf of a grateful nation, thank you. Until tomorrow, again, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Ta-ta.